All right. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here today on our weekly live Wednesday YouTube panels with our industry experts. My name is Jessica Hayes, and I'm the Work-Based Learning Coordinator with Alignment Rockford. With me today, I have Brecken Haak. She is a private banker with Associated Bank. I also have Matt Gabel. He is a commercial relationship manager with Associated Bank as well. And then I have Anissa Kuhar, who is with us here from Rockford University that's helping us out today as well. So thank you all for being here today. And we'll get started by talking a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then we'll kind of cover on how you got to where you are today and some advice you would give to students that are in the business pathway. So Brecken, let's go ahead and start with you. If you can give me your name, title, and how you got to where you are today.
Sure. So Brecken Haak, I'm a private banker here with Associated. I've been with Associated about 5 years now. And as a private banker, I help high net worth individuals, families with an overall wealth management strategy, whether that be deposits, customized lending, truly work with a team of people. So trust administrators, investments, commercial lenders, we all work together to be able to help clients achieve their financial goals. I've been doing this, I'm going to date myself a little bit here, about 20 years. And I started off as a teller. So I started off in the branches. I was a senior in high school, actually, when I started, and worked my way through different roles within banking to find private banking and find my niche where I'm at now.
That's awesome. We will come back to that and ask you some more questions on that, because that would be great for our students to hear how they can get started as seniors and work themselves up to a career where you're at today.
Sure.
Matt, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you are today?
Absolutely. Thanks again for having us on here. So as Jessica alluded to, I'm our commercial relationship manager for Associated Bank. My role here is really to help all of our businesses and commercial clients, really, if you will, kind of be a quarterback and really help customers with any lending needs they have, deposit needs. Basically, if you think of your personal relationship and your personal banker, I'm a banker for businesses. So I help businesses with any needs they have, really help them continue to grow and expand. And it's really nice to get involved in the Rockford community area and help some of our businesses here continue to excel. So whatever a business need they may have on a financial side, I'm their go-to person here at Associated Bank.
And how long have you been there?
I've been here 14 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Very similar to Brecken. I graduated high school at Boylan here in the Rockford area. I went to school at Rock Valley College and got into Associated Bank as a teller. And I've been in a number of different roles. I was on the retail side, which is what you would familiarize with on the branch side. I was on that side of the banking industry for about 10 years. And then last 4 years, I've been on the commercial small business scale. So started as a teller and worked my way through a number of different roles within the bank and got to where I am today, which I love and enjoy working with businesses. So it's my niche here.
So Matt, while you're talking, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about that? We'll start with you, Matt, and then Brecken, you can tell us, as a senior, how do you get involved in this? What do you need to do? What kind of classes? Are there specific classes or applications? Kind of what did you do and what was a senior need to do to kind of follow the similar process?
So I would say if you have any interest in the financial industry, of course, look for opportunities where there's some open roles within a bank. I know, if someone is going to college, the branch side, especially on a teller role, they could do their best to figure out scheduling so that you're still able to go to classes. I'll be honest with you, because it is an 8 to 5 job. You may have to look at taking some classes at night. But I think last year with COVID and everything that happened, there may be some offerings where you're doing a lot of your online schooling with college, which that can then get you in the door as a teller position and get an idea on what the banking industry is like. I would say the most important role in my career was being a personal banker, because being a banker, you're really able to see the investment, the mortgage. I mean, you're able to see the whole bank picture what careers are like in the banking industry. And that really kind of gets you into a spot where you can kind of find what you enjoy and then maybe go down that pathway.
I definitely agree with Matt.
Awesome. That's great to hear. It's exciting to hear of those opportunities.
Yeah.
Thanks. Keep going, Brecken.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I have a bit of a delay here too, so you're good. Well, this kind of tends to happen, but go right ahead.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Matt. I think there's so much more to banking that people don't see. And depending on what your niche is, if you like numbers and you want to be more of a behind the scenes, maybe you take some financial classes or accounting courses. And, you know, Matt and I are relationship managers and we're in front of clients, figuring out what they need, trying to think 10 steps ahead to be able to make recommendations. And there are people behind the scenes too that are, you know, analyzing and going through financial statements and plugging in certain loan opportunities or whatever the case may be. So really, you know, find things that you enjoy, take different classes to see what you enjoy. I remember my freshman year in college, I thought for sure I wanted to be an accountant, and I took accounting 1 and 2. And I'm like, oh, you know, I enjoy the numbers thing, but I need to be in front of people. So, you know, maybe the account, you know, obviously the accounting thing didn't work out, but it was a great background to have. So definitely don't be afraid to try everything. You don't need to know exactly what you want to do. I think, and Matt will probably echo this too, as starting off as a teller, really understanding what happens behind the scenes. There's so much more to a teller than just depositing and cashing checks and things like that. Really understands the back workings, debits and credits, and balancing different things, and then moving into that banker role and learning more about mortgages or trusts or different things to be able to experience all those different things and try different roles. I will say too, once you get in, you know, if you're working at a bank, I've always found it's to try new things, and they're open to move around and try different positions to see if it's something you like. You know, me personally, I tried the branch manager position, and it was about 9 months, and I'm like, this isn't for me, you know, and then tried something else. So don't be afraid to try new things. And I would say as a senior or even a junior, it's so important to have a mentor. Find someone that can help guide you. You can bounce things off of and get ideas, and being able to go to someone that is interested in some of the things that you're interested in.
Such great advice. And that's, you know, picking a mentor. And the continuous conversation we have every week is find what you're passionate about. Find what you like, what you want to do. There are plenty of careers in something that you're passionate about, and not everybody has the same pathway. How you get to where you are in your career is very different for each person. Yeah. Can you guys tell me, one of the things we always like to talk about is, do you work more individually, or is your job more of working together as a team? Brecken, if you could tell us a little bit about what a day in the life is like. Do you work a lot together with other people, or do you a lot on your own?
Sure. I think one of the things I love about my job is that no day is ever the same. It's different. Everyone's situation is different. Everyone's needs are different. So depending on the client and the need, there's sometimes where it may just me and a client one-on-one, or there may be 4 people at the table, depending on where the client is at in their financial life and what they need. I do think part of the reason I also love my job is the team that I work with. We work really well together. I know some people say that. I truly mean that. And being able to bring other people in, you know, Matt works with a lot of businesses, but yet the business owners have a little bit more complex, you know, financial situations. So we team up on some of those. I think it's really important to have that team environment. Not everyone can know everything about everything, and being able to own that, and not knowing the answer is okay. And having those resources and knowing where to go is so important, opposed to actually knowing some of the answers.
Yeah, that's Matt. How about you?
I would pretty much agree with Brecken. You know, our individual roles. You know, my job is to really help businesses and grow our business, if you will, with Associative Bank, and the more businesses that bank with us and everything. You know, I have individual goals that I need to achieve. However, I don't achieve those individual goals without the team. at the end of the day, you're not going to be an expert at everything. And that's what the sole idea of a teamwork mentality is I may be the face of the relationship, or maybe meeting with a business owner or business decision maker one-on-one, but I may not know everything. And like Brecken said, I'm dealing with business owners. Well, business owners have personal, dealings with the bank too. And that's where I bring our private banking team in place. The capabilities we have at Associative Bank are huge in this market. We've got a local wealth management team. We've got a retirement plan specialist here in town. We do there's a wide variety of different things that we offer on a banking level. And I have those experts or partners to bring in when necessary, like Brecken said. There may be an opportunity where I'm one-on-one with a business owner or decision maker. There may be times where there's 3 of us from Associative Bank and 2 business partners. At the end of the day, we're here to win business and build our relationships within the community and within the bank for our customers. And a lot of times it comes with a teamwork mentality.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Thanks for that feedback. And with that and the teamwork, can you guys tell us maybe a cool project that you've worked on, or something that was really fun that you got to be a part of, that you would like to share with our students, just like kind of a cool project maybe you worked on or are working on? Matt, if you want to go ahead and start.
Yeah, I can say there was an opportunity we had a while ago where I'll let you know on the business scale. One thing coming from the branches, and someone comes in and opens up an account with us and they build a relationship with us, that may be an hour in front of that customer. Where in the dealings that I deal with, we've had situations where we're bringing over a customer from a different bank, or they have a different need and they're coming over to Associative Bank. That process may be 5 or 6 months. So there's a lot of work that comes into play. And I will say that the cool thing or the fun thing about a project when you work with a team is you get that initial start of a customer has an opportunity and they're interested in coming over and banking with you. Well, when it's all said and done and that relationship's moved over and they're banking with us at Associative Bank, and everyone can kind of go around the room and all 5 or 6 of us can high five, because that's what our job is. And to work together like that, especially when it's a long process like a 5 or 6 month project, it's a lot of fun to celebrate that at the end.
Awesome. Cool. Brecken, how about you?
I agree. And I'm going to touch a little bit too on volunteering and being involved in the community. At Associated Bank, we're all really passionate and they support us, which is awesome. So even though the career and being in banking, it's also good to be in other things, be a part of some boards of the community, something you're passionate about, find something that you're passionate about and be able to bring some of those skills in there, and being able to be in a room with people who all different businesses, non-for-profits. You will learn so much from them and help you maybe find your path to helping on a board with, maybe being the treasurer, or, just expanding your network, and meeting different people, and maybe find a mentor there or something like that. I think that's huge, and find something you're passionate about and go with it.
What excites you about going to work every day? Matt, what excites you about your job every day? What is, why do you get up every day and go to work?
Well, I would say one thing is the people I work with. I think, we've talked about teamwork and everything like that. I have built some relationships here that are like family. So one, coming to work with my peers is a great thing that I look forward to every single day. One thing I do enjoy is the community involvement that we do. And my job is helping businesses is a joy to me, because if I can help a business expand or a business continue to succeed, that's delivering many things. That's more jobs where people can work. That's more things that are better for the Rockford area. There's a lot of things that my job consists of that can have a ripple effect across the entire area. And I do enjoy that.
That's so cool. That's good to hear, because especially coming from the alignment side, we really like the engagement from Associated Bank with our students and with our sponsor at Auburn. And it's great to have you guys at the table to come and be a community partner for us. Brecken, how about you?
I really like digging into things, problem solving, having the whole team, whether it be financial planning or someone coming to us, wanting to retire in 5 years or something like that, and being able to really dig into helping them with their estate planning. And maybe there's some lending in there. I love when people come to us, I'm thinking about doing this, or I want to buy this or get into this business. Really being able to look at the full relationship and build upon that, not really just go to a rate sheet and say, we'll do this for X amount of time for, this certain rate. It's really customized, and that's fun to me, to be able to build that and come back to the table with options and say, these are the things I'm thinking. What are you thinking? And multi-generational too, working with families. So not only am I, working with a possible couple, but their children and grandchildren, and it's really multi-generational, being able to explain, if they do lose a family member and we are carrying out the trust or their wishes, knowing why grandma, mom, dad, aunt, uncle chose some of these things, because we had that conversation with them and we had that relationship with them.
That's great. I think the next question, sorry, got some feedback. The next question would be like, what, if I'm 15, 16, 17 years old, what are my next steps? What do I do? One would be kind of like, what classes would I take? What are some next steps into getting myself into starting this career? And then I also would like you to emphasize, like, how do they apply if they're a senior and they want to apply to teller? Do they have to be 18? What are the requirements at Associated for them to be able to apply for a teller? Whichever one wants to go first, go right ahead.
I do think you have to be 18, and the job postings are always online, and posted at the branches at some point in time too, I think. But I would encourage, to look at the job postings, know what you're interested in, take different courses, whether that be, financial or accounting, if that's something that you're interested in. Maybe it's you're more interested in trusts and estate planning, that type of thing. A lot of our trust administrators are attorneys too. So there's so many different ways that you can go, and don't hesitate to reach out and ask questions. This is what I'm interested in. Does this even fit into banking? Maybe you're thinking it doesn't fit into banking, and there's so many different behind the scene roles that it may. So don't be afraid to ask questions.
Matt?
So I will say, if someone is interested in getting into the banking industry and they say they want to start out as a teller, I think Brecken's right, it's 18 for us to hire someone on the teller side. We'll double check on that, but I think it is 18. I would say, if you're able to get a worker's permit at 15 and work at 16 and 17 with your drive of wanting to get into the banking industry, I would recommend probably doing something with some cash handling experience. Whether that's at a grocery store, a restaurant, what have you, is really just try to help build your resume a little bit so that when you do become 18, you have that opportunity where you've got some experience, because as a teller, you're dealing with you're dealing with a cash drawer and you're dealing with a cash handling experience. And that will help you get your foot into the door. As far as classes and everything, the more you can educate yourself on a math or a finance standpoint will just help you down the road. But like Brecken said, I mean, there's a number of areas within the bank that aren't just, you shouldn't just think, oh, I'm good at math, I want to be in the bank. I mean, there's a bunch of different areas within the bank. There's a legal side. I mean, there's a huge variety of different roles within here. So it's really going with what you're passionate about and seeing what doors are open.
Great. Thank you so much, you guys. That's awesome. It's great to hear that feedback and where they could, if they have options, and giving them that feedback of, if you want to be in banking or interested in it, get that cash handling, get a job at a grocery store and get that experience so you know what to expect when you get into the banking industry. I think the last question we'll have, and then we'll kind of see if Anissa has any questions or Q&A. And I guess the thing is what's one last final thought you would give to students? We've talked about find your passion. We've talked about, ask questions. Is there any final thoughts or any final suggestions you'd like to make to the students while you're here today on our panel?
Well, I'll go first if it's okay. I will say one thing that has helped me in my career, and it still does, is a long time ago, someone gave me advice is it's not what you know or who you know, it's who knows you. So I would encourage volunteering, getting involved in the community, getting shoulder to shoulder, find a mentor. I know we've talked about that a couple times here, but the more you get your name and your face and yourself out there, the more opportunities you're going to have to be a success, have a successful career in whatever industry it is. So that's what would be my comment.
That's great. Because you're right. It's about people that know you and know who you are, that it's important to, learn how to be the person that people are going to get to know, be that team, be able to be a part of a team. Brecken, how about you? Want to add anything so we get some questions here?
Nope. I definitely agree with Matt. And I would say, don't be afraid to jump out of your comfort zone. It's never fun to do that, but I think to grow and to find out what you're truly passionate about and what your interests are, go for it, do it. It's okay to be nervous, and it's okay to possibly not get the answer you were looking for. That'll create your path. And short and sweet, really. I just encourage everyone to you don't have to know what you want to do. You don't have, but try new things and step out of your comfort zone, because maybe that's it. Maybe that is, what you're meant to do.
Awesome. Anissa, I'm going to throw it to you. Questions?
Sure. So here's my question. Is there somebody that inspired you, whether it's to be in banking or whether it's just in general as a professional? Is there some hero or some person that just really, made an impact in your life that you might share some words of wisdom for these folks?
So I will share one. There is someone that always inspired me to, as I said, jump out of my comfort zone. I have never liked taking tests. I know that's one thing that just isn't my thing. But in the role throughout throughout banking and being a banker, I was to be licensed in insurance and get some of my investment series license. And to do that, you get to take fun tests where, they're long and you study for, long periods of time. And I had a mentor when I first started and was a banker who actually, it was mostly through the phone and internet, because she worked in Rockford and I was in Dixon, Illinois at the time, and encouraged me to never stop and to keep going. And she actually got out of the banking world, I would say 2010, around there. And when I came to Rockford, I've been in Rockford since about 10 years now. Our paths crossed again, and she's now for a non-for-profit, and I'm on that foundation board, and we are able to connect and still grow and learn. And she's just been a great impact on my career and life.
That's excellent. Thanks for sharing that. How about you, Matt?
You guys might laugh on this, but so a couple years ago, Matthew McConaughey had a speech, and I won't go through the whole speech, but at the end of the speech, he basically said, you need someone or something to chase. And that's always in the back of my mind every single day, is I may have a goal that I'm chasing. I may have someone I'm chasing. I mean, there's always something that's driving me to be successful. And whether it's a goal or a position or something along those lines, there's always something there that's kind of giving me that fire to just keep on doing what I'm doing and try to continue to grow, because you learn something new every day, and just continue to try to be successful in your field.
That's great. And I asked you that because I think that different people, we come in contact with different people in our lives. And I think it's good to just engage and hear what they're saying, because that too drives what you're going to do, whether it's personally, professionally, and we're all striving to be better people anyway. So thanks, you guys. That was really excellent. Back to you, Jessica.
Well, thank you, Anissa. I appreciate you jumping in with a question. I really appreciate it. And I think it's safe to say that if any of the students that watch this or are currently watching this, if they have any questions, we could follow up with you guys directly, or if they're interested in connecting with you to maybe ask you some questions or follow up with what we've talked about here, that you guys would be good with that.
Yeah,
Of course.
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, that is it for today. Thank you both for joining us, and thank you, Anissa, for always being here to help me. I really appreciate it. And if you are a student on here watching, please don't hesitate to reach out with any additional questions. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.